Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to the Steam Halloween Sale 2024. This time they're calling it Steam Scream 3D. Runs for 1 week, 20th of October until the 4th of November. Thousands of games on sale, not just horror games, normal games are also on sale. So in this first video what I'm going to do is add a lot of games that are on sale and in different price ranges. I'll split them by timestamp so you can check based on your preference. Now I have a few criteria. Games have to be equal to their lowest sale prices, or they have new low sale prices, or 2-year lows. Now 2-year lows is a newer thing because in 2022 Steam increased the prices of a lot of games. Basically Steam gave an updated price list to the publishers and a lot of them increased the prices. So we are not going to see the old prices we used to get in say 2015 or something. A lot of those games have become more expensive. So that is the 2-year lows. Then I'm also picking games that have at least a positive rating. So normally on Steam you have recent reviews and overall reviews. I need at least one of them minimum to be positive. Otherwise the game does not go here. Next I select the pricing in 10 regions based on my audience from where people are watching. So you'll have euros, you'll have Canadian dollars, Australian dollars and things like that. So 10 of the most popular ones based on the viewership of my channel. So first we start with Hogwarts Legacy. I just covered this recently, so I won't go into detail. You all know what this is. Best-selling game of last year, probably a big game seller this year as well. 70% off. So a $60 game last year is now available for $18. Fantastic deal. You can still see 15,000 people playing daily right now. So yeah, still very popular, and you can pick this up for $18 in the US, $1,200 in India, $15 in the UK, $24 in Canada, $18 in the Eurozone. Next is Dead Space, another recentish game, early 2023, and surprisingly well received. Overall, a lot of people liked it. You can see very positive reviews. Steam DB rating is almost 90%, so fantastic. And EA has a habit of dropping the prices fairly quickly. So this is again down to $18. So less than 2 years old, $18. Again, fantastic price. Not as many people playing as Hogwarts, obviously, but it's a good remake. 900 in India, 15 in the UK. Next is System Shock. So another remake of a classic game. The original was from 94 or something, one of the first cyberpunk FPS, if you will. And again, very, very positive reviews. You can see here 90% almost. Came out in May, end of May 23, so about a year and a half ago. And this is on a new lowest price, $16, 900 in India. This is something I like the look of. It's got that retro style. Yeah, if you've played the previous game, you may like this. Old one is still available on sale. Next, we have a bit of an indie favorite. This is Cult of the Lamb. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. Again, 94% roughly. And this is published by Devolver. 50% off, $1249, $450 in India. Regional price is good here, $974 in the UK, $14 in Canada. Sons of the Forest, so open world survival co-op style game, came out early this year, February, and you can see 85% positive reviews. 6,500 people playing, not bad. So $1649 in the US, $715 in India, $21.44 in Canada, and $15.94 in the Eurozone. Phasmophobia, so this was very, very popular during the lockdown, if I recall, and you can see still has overwhelmingly positive reviews, 95% rating, and yeah, interesting horror game, still in early access. $15, $660, again, regional price is good, $19.49 in Canada, $12.56 in the UK, 31,000 people still playing. Peak of 46, 31 is just right now. Next is Days Gone, so a Sony game, and also if you've heard the recent drama with PlayStation games and the requirement for PSN, this is one of the previous patch where they did not have the PSN requirement, so you can actually play it without having to connect to PSN. And yeah, I've seen good reviews for this game. Some people really love it, some people don't like it. So whichever camp you are, this seems like a decent game. I recently saw some numbers for this game in terms of sales on PlayStation or something, and overall this game has sold like 7 million copies or something, which is pretty impressive. Same as Bloodborne, by the way. So this is 75% off, $8.24. This is the usual price, $12.49. These early batch of games, they tend to drop to the same price, 10 in the UK, 16 in Canada. Life is Strange Remastered. So a new Life is Strange is coming out, and this one is the old one remastered, and this was dropped in 2022. Very positive. Again, episodic story-driven game. I've never played this. 60% off, $16, 800 in India. Evil West, so a newer sort of third-person shooter style game, beat 'em up. This is made by Flying Wild Hog, the people behind the Shadow Warrior games, and once again positive reviews both recent and overall. 70% off, $15 for this one, $6.89. Again, regional price is decent here. Daymare 1994 Sandcastle. So this is a smaller, you could say, Resident Evil inspired style game. There was a first game called Daymare 1998 something. That one was given away free, I think, somewhere, GOG, I think. But that was like a budget Resident Evil style game. This is, I think, a prequel to that same game. And once again, it's got positive reviews. Mostly, not a lot of reviews. You can see 550 reviews here. So still not bad, I suppose. There is a demo here, so you can try it out before buying. And so this is 50% off, $15, 1200 in India. Regional price isn't the best, it's practically nothing there. So yeah, and 20 in Canada. Blasphemous 2. So if you like your 2D Metroidvania style games with an interesting art style, this set of games is fantastic. I've played the first one a little bit. Souls-like 2D, that sort of thing. This is the sequel. Again, very positive, as you can see, 90% here, very positive overall. $15, 1200 in India. So you can see this is like the new regional pricing standard. So newer games will not have much of a regional pricing difference. 15 in the Eurozone. Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun, so a surprisingly popular Warhammer FPS, and this is in a boomer shooter style. You are playing as an ultramarine, so fantastic game overall. If you just like some FPS stuff, like I guess Doom or things like that, but in the old style. Again, 88% positive reviews, as you can see here on SteamDB, and although not a big enough sale, it's still a fantastic game. 35% off, $14.29, $7.14 in India, $19.49 in the UK. Retail price is a little better on this one. They've also added a new DLC, Forges of Corruption, to add a little more content. So fantastic overall. Next we have Asterigos Curse of the Stars. So you could say a bit of a Souls-like game, but an adventure style action third-person game. I played it a few years ago when it came out, and I thought it was pretty decent. A nice art style, mix of say Roman and Greek mythology in there, and yeah, overall a lot of weapons and a lot of interesting combat and stuff. You can see here very positive reviews. This is by Tiny Build, and this is 60% off, $14, $5.19 in India. Regional price is very good. Still on the old regional price, I guess. 12 in the UK, 16 in Canada. Dave the Diver. So a surprisingly popular recent game. So you play as Dave, who is a diver during the day and runs a sushi restaurant at night, and you have your adventures and things to do. Hugely popular game, overwhelmingly positive, as you can see, 95% positive rating on SteamDB. And also, this has a DLC called Godzilla Content Pack. So this DLC is a limited time free DLC that has been added to the game in collaboration with the people behind the Godzilla -1 movie. This pack is only available until the 23rd of November. So make sure to get this free DLC added to your account if you buy this game, because the game will be sold afterwards normally, but this DLC won't be available afterwards. If anybody does get it now before the 23rd, it will be available for you in the future, but people buying the game after the 23rd won't get this. So yeah, make sure to get this. They're also doing collaboration with these other games and adding content from these games. Potion Craft, Balatro, whatever it's called, the card game that's very popular. So yeah, $14, $6.16 in India, $11.89 in Canada, $18.19 in Canada. Hellboy Web of Fear. So I completely forgot about this game. I had heard about this game when it was coming out. There was a bit of hype, but I did not hear much afterwards. And as you can see, not a lot of people seem to have played it either. Reviews are still positive. For me, the art style wasn't appealing, but this could be the opposite for some of you. So if you like that movie, I had a friend who was a big fan of the Hellboy movies. So that is how I came to know about this stuff. But yeah, seems to be doing okay. Regional price is good, 50% sale here, $12.49, $5.50 in India, and yeah, $12.25 in the Eurozone. So yeah, let me know if you've heard of this or if you're interested in this. Judgement, so from the Yakuza series, this is also on a sale. This came out late 2022, so 2-year-old game. Again, the newer games are kind of expensive. Sega has increased the prices for a lot of these games, but this one seems a bit more reasonable. Regional price isn't the strongest, but still better than a few others. So $12 here, $7.49 in India, $10.49 in the UK, $15 in Canada, $12 in the Eurozone. Martha is Dead, so another psychological horror style game. And again, I've heard quite a bit about this one, but I don't know if it has been free or something somewhere. But regional price is very, very good here. When did this come out? See, you can see the games that came out early 22 have a very good regional price. Late 22 is when Steam recommended the updated pricing for a lot of things. So notice how big a difference it is between the US prices and the Indian prices here. So $12 here, $2.79 in India, $10 in the UK, $13.59 in Canada, $12 in the Eurozone. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So yeah, another game in the sort of Borderlands setting. Mostly positive reviews. It looks interesting. I've never really played the Borderlands games. I mean, I've just tried them but never got into them. But these are looter shooter games with an interesting story and stuff. I don't know how good the third one was. So yeah, this one here is 80% off. $12, $6.59 in India, $11 in the UK, $16 in Canada, $12 in the Eurozone. Okay, so now we move into the under $10 range and we start with Thymesia. Now, Thymesia is the closest thing you could say to Bloodborne. Same sort of look, fast-paced, Souls-like action. Not a very big game, but the reviews are excellent, very positive, 82% rating. Came out late 2022. And this is the new low price for this one, has dropped under 10 for the first time. So this is $10, $800 in India, 8 in the UK, 12 in Canada, 10 in the Eurozone. Next is Yakuza Like a Dragon, 92% rating. Again, very popular series, even though Sega has increased the prices quite a lot. As you can see here, it is more expensive in India compared to the US. So $10 in the US, $8.74 in India, 8 in the UK, 14 in Canada, 10 in the Eurozone. Next is Scorn. So Scorn is also a newish horror game. Came out a couple of years ago. There was a little bit of an issue. People were not happy with the puzzle elements, but it is quite scary and stuff. Also, another thing regarding this game, this will be given away free on the 31st of October in 2 days time via Prime Gaming, and it will be a key for GOG as far as I know. So you could just wait if you were interested in this game, unless you really want it on Steam. Anyway, the reviews are still decent, 75%. More than 10,000 people have reviewed it. So $10 here, $2.34. Regional price is fantastic. 8 in the UK, 11 in Canada, 10 in Eurozone. Stasis Bone Totem. So another game I heard quite a lot about when it first came out. This is an old school point and click style game, of course horror, and this is almost 90% positive rating, and $10 once again, $4.40 in India, $8.37 in the UK, 13 in Canada, $9.75 in the Eurozone. Valheim, so another popular game, not horror theme obviously, but a very popular survival game for up to 10 people, made by Coffee Stain. They are very good with their games. All the games seem to be really good. And yeah, you can see sitting at 93% rating, still in early access, but they still keep updating and a lot of people keep playing. You can see right now 18,000 people playing, 24 hours, almost 30,000. So $10, 264, 774 in the UK, 1139 in Canada, 10 in the Eurozone. Another game by the same publisher, very popular once again, Deep Rock Galactic. Up to 4 people can play this in co-op, sort of like Left 4 Dead if you will, but you are a colony of dwarves mining, and you have to go and mine for resources and fend off these bug-like creatures. Different maps to do these things, procedurally generated maps as far as I remember. Yeah, and this is 67% off. This is the usual sale price, always drops to the same price, and the regional price once again is excellent, $989, $230 in India, $824 in the UK. You can see here 8,000 right now, 13 peak, so still plenty of people playing this. World War Z. So this is made by Saber Interactive, the people behind the new Space Marine 2 game, and this is again another Left 4 Dead style game, but the thing here is you have a lot of zombies on screen, and surprisingly the game is so well done that even with so many zombies on screen, it doesn't tank your performance. So that was the good thing I liked about this one. But this is 67% off, $989, $494 in India. Again, retail price is pretty good, $857 in the UK, $1237 in Canada, $989 in the Eurozone. Metal Hellsinger. So this is a rhythm FPS game where you're playing this half human, half demon type creature. You go down into hell and you have to defeat the minions of hell while being in sync with the music. There is a demo, so you can try it out. 67% off, $989, $422 in India, $781 in the UK, $1283 in Canada. The Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes. So another series of survival horror style game where you have to pick and choose different things, and based on that some people may die. 67% off once again, $989. Again, regional price is pretty good, $362 in India, $1319 in Canada, $989 in the Eurozone. Observer System Redux. So this is made by Bloober Team, the people behind the recent Silent Hill 2 game. I have played some of their previous games. Layers of Fear I played. This one I was playing, in fact I was streaming this one, but it kept crashing. This is a sort of remastered version of that game, similar looking but remastered. Reviews are pretty good, 82% here, and this is 70% off. Again, very good regional price, $9, $209 in India, $713 in the UK, $10 in Canada. The Quarry. So a lot of people during last night's stream said this is on a new low, and it is. And again, similar horror themed game, choices matter, multiple people, some will die based on your choices, blah blah blah. 85% off, $9, $494 in India, $824 in the UK, $12 in Canada. The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but yeah, narrative-driven hardcore RPG. Something different I wanted to mention. It's been on my wishlist for a few years. I've wanted this one, but haven't been able to get around to it. But yeah, if you want something different, the story is sort of told within the pages based on your choices, things like that. So 60% off, $8, $279 in India, $9.11 in Canada, $9.8 in the Euro. So next is Vampyr. So this is a game I like quite a lot, and this is set in the early 1900s where you play as Dr. Jonathan Reed. The Doctor is obviously a doctor, but he's also been bitten recently and has turned into a vampire, so he has to balance both those things, so do his duty while also requiring blood. So you have to pick and choose whose blood you are going to drink, and make it guilt free, I suppose. So 80% off, $8, $379 in India, $7 in the UK, $11 in Canada. Hollow Knight is on sale. Not a horror game as such, but Hollow Knight is Hollow Knight. Fantastic game, one of the finest games ever made in my opinion. So it's on sale and I'm going to mention it. Overwhelmingly positive, as you can see here, 96%. This is among the highest rated games on Steam, like probably in the top 10 or something. And yeah, beautiful game, beautiful music, great looking game and combat and stuff like that. Metroidvania, Souls-like. Although I did not think the fighting was that difficult, but still. $749, $345 in India, $639 in the UK, $974 in Canada, $739 in the Eurozone. Strange Horticulture, so another game that I've heard quite a bit about. You can see here overwhelmingly positive reviews, came out in early 22, so hopefully regional price is good. And yeah, a cult puzzle game basically. You can try the demo if you want. 60% off, $639 in India, $639 in the US, $292 in India, and $831 in Canada. Mafia Definitive Edition, so the remake of the first Mafia game, surprisingly well done graphically and looks good. Lots of nice cars from the period, things like that, and pretty much the same story. So we have 86% positive rating for this one. $8, $439 in India, $7 in again, great price. If you were a fan of the original, you still like it, and if you haven't played it, you might still enjoy it. State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. So I got this game last year, really ended up loving this game. Even did a few streams for this one. So again, zombie style game, but you are setting up your base with all the survivors and making sure it's secure and have some basic resources like meds and stuff. So yeah, really enjoyable game. You have a bit of an open world map, not bit, like several maps, and you can go around, find the best base for yourself and your community and work with that. I really ended up liking it, and this is on its lowest price. This is actually they did not drop this low for over a year, so this is a great price to get this, and they have not increased the regional price either. So 75% off, $749, $274 in India, $624 in the UK, and $10 in Canada. In fact, when we were looking at the stream last night, last time it dropped to this price was in September 23, so well over a year since we've got this lower price. And we have Zombie Army 4 Dead Wars. So again, we have the spin-off from the Sniper Elite games where you are killing zombies who are also Nazis. Zombies. So yeah, fits the theme nicely. And this is 85% off, $749, $300 exactly in India, $629 in the UK, $974 in Canada. The Henry Stickmin collection, so again, not a horror themed games, but a funny one with multiple endings. Again, very popular, as you can see the reviews, and this is 60% off, $6, $279 in India. Next we have Wyrd West Definitive Edition. So I have played a little bit of this via the Game Pass. Then it was also given away on Epic. So yeah, this is a Wild West setting with some supernatural stuff happening, multiple interconnected stories, and yeah, I liked the theme of this game. This is made by some former devs from Arcane, so basically Dishonored and Prey games, and there is a substantial demo available as well. So you play the first of the 4 or 5 characters that are in the game, the bounty hunter, and this is like a good 3-4 hour long demo, so you could just try this out and see if it's your kind of game. It's basically in the isometric perspective, so may or may not be to your liking, but the game is still decent. 85% off, $224 in India, $464 in the UK, $659 in Canada, $6 in the Eurozone. The Mummy Demastered. So I often mention this game because it reminds me of the old Metal Slug style games. Looks pretty good, the pixel art style, and yes, 2D Metroidvania style game. $6, $158 in India, $464 in the UK. Scars Above, so a third-person story sci-fi style game, and this came out again early last year, and again seems to have good reviews overall. I don't think this has been given away yet, but yeah, the price has settled around 80%. We've seen this 80% a few times. So this is $6, $336 in India, $529 in the UK, $829 in Canada. The Surge 2, so another Souls-like game, a sci-fi futuristic one. I often mention the first Surge game. This is this direct sequel, came out in 2019, 75% rating, so pretty decent overall, nothing outstanding. But 80% off for this one, $6, $279 in India, $5 in the UK, $8 in Canada. And then finally we have the F.E.A.R collection, not just the first game. So I mentioned this at the weekend, but another mention here, FPS game from the mid 2000s to 2012. I think the third one came out in 2012. And you can get all three of these games in a bundle at 90% off, only $549. 107 in India, 359 in the UK, 549 in Canada, 549 in the Euros. So that's it for this video. I was planning to add the under $5 section as well, but the video is already long enough as it is. So I'll make a separate video for the $5 because there might be more games there. But yeah, I wanted to try something different this time, so I combined the 20 and the under 10s up to 5. So hopefully you find something interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.